Hello and welcome back to the experiment. You may remember from the first video that we created a new hero named Lightboy, basically just a regular kid in school who stumbled upon the power of light. If you would like to go back and watch that first video, I've included the link in the description. So, cool powers, cool suit, cool origin story. Well, it does go without saying that every good superhero needs a villain, so that's what we're making today. So with Enzo's power being light, I'm making hers be of darkness. Lightboy can produce light, but she can expel it. Almost as if they're two sides of the same coin. As for her outfit, I want something that would suit the name Princess of Shadow or Dark Princess or something along those lines. I knew that I wanted her primary color to be pink, so I experimented with some color combinations. This was decent, but the outfit wasn't dark enough. There are some things I could fix. I did a quick flip on the canvas and I noticed that her eyes are all wonky. I kind of wish I had done that earlier. I did add some black to get a darker look when I wrestled with the color combinations, and I brought in a bit of magenta too. After a while, it occurred to me that the problem wasn't just the colors, but the costume itself. This draft just wasn't it. I had to explore more ideas that were in my head. I started on an adult base body because I figured it would be a bit easier to get a good design there and then shrink it down to the correct size. I began with the original design to start things off. It made it easier to put other ideas on the page. During this process, I was looking at Pinterest, I was looking at Instagram, comic books, and Googling all kinds of stuff like wrestling outfits or even ballet outfits. I did this 3 more times to come up with a total of 12 iterations. Designing for an adult age character actually removed some of the friction. It helps to go along with the mindset that I was creating what she would eventually grow into. Okay, so I didn't plan this, but it just so happened to work out in a way that my more whimsical ideas were on the left while things closer to inspiration from reference were on the right. The designs in the middle were what I felt would fit the character the most. Here's how all the sketches turned out. This is the one I'm going with. Now to translate this costume to our actual character. The goal here was to keep some defining features while appropriating them to the actual character we have. So maybe instead of a fur bolero, it's just a fur jacket. Or instead of high boots, it's just some tennis shoes. Redesigning the costume actually worked, and I had an easier time picking her colors afterwards. It may just be that the style gives more of a sophisticated vibe, which is more fitting for the character who's supposed to be the Shadow Princess. Or it may even be because I was scrolling through so much reference that my brain just subconsciously gained a bit of fashion sensibility. We've gotten this far with the character and she is definitely overdue for a name. I went with Melody. In her normal life, Melody goes to the same school as Enzo. That's Lightboy if you remember. And she is his big bully. Enzo's really just a chill dude, but she is always the main source of anxiety in his life. Anytime she comes across him, she always has something to say. It's mostly due to her being from a wealthy family and having expensive tastes, which is something I tried to portray in details like the fur on her outfit. One of the other previous variations of the costume had an argyle pattern. I like the vibe that a pattern would give her character, adding to a bit of that preppy feel, but I decided houndstooth would be a bit better. Obviously, with her being a shadow princess and all, her powers are at complete odds with those of Lightboy, but I have other ways in which she relates to him. Her powers come from another piece of the same crystal that gave Lightboy his. Her crystal charges its power when it is in darkness. At various levels of power, it can grant her night vision, enhanced human abilities, and the power of flight. At the height of her power, she can even teleport through dark shadows. Beyond all this, the most sinister aspect of her power is that she can unleash its corrupting energy on other people and take control of their minds. The only thing that can put a stop to her shadow minions is Lightboy's cleansing blast. Of course, I had to draw her in her normal clothes for when she's out of costume. When she has her run-ins with Enzo at school, she's always got her entourage behind her. I may make that a video down the road where I design her clique, but for the updates in the near future, I'll focus on characters more pertinent to the story. Now that I have Melody's look down, I want to make a poster for the wall right over here. It would be a picture with her powers in effect like I did for Lightboy. I have to include her wand, which is how she channels her powers. The design is pretty practical right now, but I may actually revisit that in the future to make it look a bit more imaginative. Right now, you may want to ask about the point of making these characters. Like, what am I using Lightboy and Melody for? Well, first off, just making original characters is always fun. But I've got some big plans. My goal is to use my own art to tell a story. And these two are just the first pieces of a pretty ambitious project. I will try to record what I can to keep you along every step of the way, so you know what to do. But let me know in the comments what you think about Melody and her story, and be sure to watch next time when the experiment continues.